Ever seen a man eat his ramen as a college student? Yes, I'm cheap, but it's for a good cause. So people have been asking me for investing advice, stock tips, or what I invest the most in. And to that I say, what's a stonk? Nah, but seriously, I cringe whenever the word Robin Hood comes up in conversation. The crash will never be forgotten, my friends. Now, I am a big proponent of the FIRE community, financially independent, retire early. This is a group of people who don't have to work till they're 65 or 70 or whatever age. They're able to live independently and freely, and if they want to take time off their job or quit, they can, knowing that they are financially stable, because these people save money instead of going out and spending money on dinner and just invest it, are really passionate about it, and would rather spend their money for time and freedom. And I find that really inspiring. This deserves a whole video on itself, so I won't go into too much detail here. So what I also think is very important when you're starting a portfolio and all is to have a list of goals that you want. What is your end game for this? Do you want to retire? Do you just want a little bit of extra cash? Are you saving up for something? Are you just gonna hold for how many years until it reaches a certain price point? What is your game plan here? And if the stock falls down, do you plan on taking it out or just letting it ride? Because that's usually the way to do things. You don't predict the market or try to, and just try to time it. The best way is just stick it in for a long haul and invest consistently. I believe that you should be able to do anything that you want to do. You shouldn't be limited, even if there are limitations bestowed upon you. It's important to try to overcome them and become the best you want to be and can possibly be. Follow what you feel like is best and follow your passions. Don't let anyone tell you you can't achieve your goals. Asking me for stock tips, investing advice, what I invest in. I'd like to give a little bit of transparency in my point of view for how to invest properly, and my ideas for it are. This is for educational purposes only, of course. Do not just take the word of a YouTuber college kid who is still in college. And with that, let's begin. So if you don't mind, just smash a like button, hopefully the one under this video, and let's begin. So far this year, I am up 109% so far, and if you ask me why, I can't believe it either. Most of it is returned from Tesla, some of it from Apple, but mostly Tesla as an overwhelming majority of it, just for transparency's sake and where I'm at. I don't expect this to be like a typical thing or anything. I know that Tesla is complete unicorn, but I just do it for fun, and I just spend so many hours just studying individual companies that to me it's just really fun. I have no regrets. Normally I'd invest in something like the S&P 500 ETF. That's what I was originally going to do, but I really just couldn't pass on investing in Tesla, so I went all in a while back and never looked back since. So by far my biggest holding is Tesla at 85.3% of my portfolio as of this moment. And that is definitely something that I'm always willing to buy more of if I have the funding for it. And I originally planned to just buy in the ETFs and do that type of thing where it just slowly grows over time. But then my friend mentioned Tesla, and then I spent 2 months worth of research on the inside, every single aspect of it, and just absolutely fell in love with it. The most important thing you can do when you're investing is to actually go through like those financial reports, look through their 10Qs, look at what the CEO is doing, what the message is, what the mission is. If the company does not have a clear message of what they intend to do, then they're probably not too worth it. And if their CEO is not competent or reliable enough, you need to hopefully see them have a solid track record or doing really well with what they are currently trying to achieve here, or if they just have a grander vision of everything. And I'll be up to the individual on what they think is most valuable. But this Tesla is the biggest and best example I can think of where you have someone with a big vision for humanity as a whole and is providing value and a great product and a great service. And I just enjoyed every minute just listening to interviews, reading reports, watching every YouTube video imaginable on Tesla. And it's just been an amazing ride, you know? I mean, this man is planning on taking people to Mars, guys. This man is single-handedly making sustainable energy a huge thing among individuals and everyone as a whole. I personally do all this for fun. Like, I just take joy in it. This is just a fun ride for me and a great experience, and I'm up over double from Tesla alone. This one will make up about 9.5% of my portfolio, which is my second biggest holding, but still pales in comparison to my first. And that makes all these other shares just really small. My second biggest holding is Apple. I say that the stock is worth more than it is now, even today, as it heads near the $2 trillion mark, because it is a cash-generating cow. It is a huge fan base with so many followers under Tim Cook, and so many people see this as such a reliable product and brand where everything just works. And I believe in the long-term success despite Jobs not living anymore and working under them. So we're going in order of the ones that I believe will be most successful of order. The next successful one I believe will be PayPal at 0.9% of my portfolio. And it is a small one, but I'd love to buy more. I'd love to make it at least as big of a shareholding as Apple or the other two, because it was started by some phenomenal and really smart people like Elon Musk, and it is the way of the future, especially now with what's going on. You have these contactless payment options, you have Venmo as it integrates into modern society and adapts to the markets. It was spun off of eBay in 2015 into a public market again since it got bought by eBay, and it has just been growing exponentially since, and I think is potentially a future for banking and money transfers. Virgin Galactic though, there is something to be said about that one. That makes up 2.6% of my portfolio, and I had also like to buy more of that company. I know it's a big risk because they haven't really made a profit like ever, and they didn't really have any services to give out until recently when they were contracted by the government. But I genuinely believe in Richard Branson and his ability to make profit on their companies. He's started hundreds of businesses, I believe, and he is an amazing man who has fought the airline industry, Coca-Cola, started Virgin Records, and so many other companies. It's just mind-boggling. So I'd say that Virgin Galactic can compete with airlines and will be a much faster way of travel in the future. Imagine going from one side of the world to another in about an hour, and to be able to be in space on top of that in mass. That would be a great future, I'd say. And finally, we have the stock that everyone loves, GameStop, at 1.6%. I just saw Reggie Fils-Aimé join the board, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna do it. He's the former head of Nintendo of America, and he's done some great things for Nintendo in the past, and he is beloved by so many gamers around the world that I just believe that between him, some chairperson from Petco and some chairperson from Walmart, who I forget the names of, and a few others, completely new board basically, I think under him it will be surviving. I read the reports, and to me their assets seem worth more than the actual stock price itself, which is also an interesting thing because you could sell off the whole company and you'd still make a profit because their assets are worth more than the stock price. And it's just very weird to think about because the perceived value is very much so GameStop's gonna fail and whatnot. But I believe there is a market potentially if they can find their footing. So I made this for transparency so other people know my thoughts and what I invest in, and for more reputability, you know? And if you'd like to, please share like what you're invested in, if you own any stocks or anything, or if you don't, just let me know, say you don't. I'd like to make like a survey of how many people do or don't invest and what are the potentially most popular companies. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching.